The story took place in 1984, on a calm and peaceful night. The whole family was gathered at the dinner table, eating together. Suddenly, Sarah, the young girl, spoke up and said, "I'm going to a party." Her father, clearly upset, asked, "Where are you going?" "Stay here, there's no going out tonight." Sarah responded, "I want to go to the party," and then turned to her mother for permission. Her mother, after thinking for a moment, agreed and told her it was fine to go. The father, even angrier now, looked at his wife and said, "I told you, no going out, no parties. Go to your room and don't leave it." Sarah, hurt by her father's words, reluctantly went to her room. Later, when it was time for the party, Sarah saw her boyfriend, Chris, waiting outside on his motorcycle. He was there to pick her up. Sarah quietly sneaked out through her bedroom window and joined him. Meanwhile, her mother, who had noticed her daughter's upset mood, went into Sarah's room and found the bed empty. Sarah had escaped out the window. It wasn't long before her father realized Sarah was gone and started searching for her, discovering she had run away. Sarah had a fantastic night at the party with Chris. They danced, had fun, and Chris even sang her some songs he had written for her. Sarah felt so happy and carefree that night. However, when the night ended, did Sarah think about coming home early to avoid trouble? No, she stayed out and returned home only the next morning. As she arrived at the front door, she found her father standing there, waiting for her. A big argument broke out between them. Sarah, frustrated, shouted, "When I turn 18, I'm leaving this house and I'm never coming back." Her father replied firmly, "As long as you live under my roof, you'll follow my rules." Sarah, upset and feeling trapped, ran to her room. Later that day, Sarah was talking with her older sister. She told her that she had had a wonderful time with Chris and how much she loved him. Just then, their mother walked into the room. She told Sarah that their father had decided to punish her for a week. Sarah calmly replied, "As soon as I turn 18, I'm leaving this house." Her mother, concerned, asked, "Where will you go?" Sarah smiled and said, "I want to travel the world, see new places, and work in a job that helps me live my dreams." While Sarah was speaking, her father was standing just outside the door, listening. Hearing this, he became even more furious, especially when he realized that his wife supported Sarah's plan. He stormed downstairs, his blood boiling with rage. He remembered the secret room hidden behind his bookshelf. He opened the door to that hidden space, went inside, and sat there in silence, thinking about what he would do next. 3 months passed, and Sarah graduated from high school. Her 18th birthday was coming up, and she was filled with excitement, ready to leave the house and start a new chapter of her life. One day, Sarah's mother went out to run some errands and told Sarah's father that she would be leaving for a while. As soon as she left, Sarah's father went to Sarah and asked her to help him move a chest to the basement. She agreed, and together they headed down to the hidden room behind the bookshelf. When Sarah saw the room, she asked, "What's this room?" Her father explained, "This is a room made of concrete by the previous owner of the house to protect it from bombings during the war." He then placed the chest inside the room and asked, "What do you think of the room?" Sarah replied, "It's awful, it looks like a prison." While they were talking, her father began to slowly back away until he was outside the room. He locked the door behind her and set a password. Later that night, Sarah's mother grew very worried when Sarah hadn't returned. She told her husband that she would report Sarah's disappearance to the police. However, her husband, Don, remained calm and said, "She's probably out with friends and will be back tomorrow, like always." The next day, Sarah was still trapped in the basement, trying desperately to open the locked door. She entered every password combination she could think of, but nothing worked. Eventually, she decided to cut the electricity to the basement and even disabled the ventilation fan in an attempt to get some control. On the 4th day, Sarah noticed the door was opening. It was her father. She quickly knocked on the door and tried to run, but she was trapped in a second room, also locked with a password. Her father coldly told her, "Scream all you want, no one will hear you. This place is soundproof." Sarah was in shock as he dragged her by the hair and threw her into the room. He warned her not to try escaping because all the doors were locked with secret numbers, which he changed every day. Sarah, shaking, asked, "Why are you doing this to your daughter?" Don replied, "You made your choice. Every action has a reaction, and this is my choice. You will live by my rules." Meanwhile, Sarah's mother had decided to take action. She called the police and told them that Sarah's clothes and travel bag were missing. Don calmly explained that Sarah had been planning to run away as soon as she turned 18 to travel the world. The officer found Don's explanation convincing and agreed that Sarah may have run away, though no one could be sure. The following day, Sarah's boyfriend, Chris, came to her house to inquire about her. He had brought a bouquet of flowers for Sarah and met her father, Don. Chris asked him, "Do you know what happened?" Don replied, "Do you know the story of Steve?" Chris was confused and asked, "Who's that?" Don explained, "Steve was Sarah's boyfriend from long ago. She always said she would run away with him one day." Chris was shocked. He couldn't believe that Sarah would do something like that. Don tried to convince him that Sarah had indeed run away with Steve. Still in disbelief, Chris left. On the 21st day, Don went down to the basement to check on Sarah. He brought a birthday cake with him and tried to talk to her, but Sarah remained silent. He handed her a red nightshirt as a birthday gift and asked her to wear it. "What do you want?" he asked. Sarah replied, "Get out of here." Don responded, "Pick something else." Sarah told him, "I want a watch." Don agreed but added, "You know, just like I give you what you want, you will also give me something I want." It was then clear that Don's intentions were far darker than Sarah could ever have imagined. On the 38th day, Sarah decided she couldn't take it anymore. She crafted a weapon using a tuna can lid, planning to kill her father and escape. When she attempted to attack him, he quickly grabbed the makeshift weapon from her hands, struck her, and then assaulted her. A year later, Sarah was still trapped in the basement, cleaning and trying to keep her mind occupied. Suddenly, Sarah went into labor and gave birth to a baby girl, whom she named Mary. Don came down to congratulate her, telling her, "This child will encourage you to live." As the days passed, little Mary grew, and 4 years later, Sarah found herself pregnant again. She asked Don if she and her children could finally leave the basement, but he grew angry and left. Upstairs, Don found his wife asking for money to hire a private investigator to search for Sarah. As always, he refused. On Christmas, Don went down to the basement with a television as a gift for Sarah, so she could have something to entertain herself. In 1991, 7 years had passed since Sarah was locked in the basement. Her daughter, Mary, became very ill and needed treatment. Don gave her some medication, but Sarah told him, "This is for adults. It won't work for her." He then told her to give the child half the dose. Meanwhile, Chris, Sarah's boyfriend, met her sister, Amy, and asked about her. Amy, worried, feared that something terrible had happened to Sarah. She confronted Don, demanding to know why he had lied to Chris about Sarah's past relationship with Steve. Don replied coldly, "What's the problem? I'm just protecting my daughter from someone who wants to manipulate her." Amy, growing more concerned, argued with Don and demanded money to hire a private investigator to look for Sarah. As usual, Don refused, but during their fight, Amy found the key to the basement. She went down to see what was in the basement but found nothing unusual. Don quickly followed her and began shouting at her. Amy rushed out, fearful of what he might do. At the same time, Sarah gave birth to her third child. She asked Don to take the baby upstairs, but he coldly responded, "What kind of cruelty is this? A mother abandoning her child." Sarah, exhausted and desperate, explained that there was no space for the baby, and she didn't have the time or strength to care for him. The next day, Sarah's mother opened the door and found the baby outside with a note from Sarah, asking her mother to take the child in because she could no longer care for him. Sarah's mother cried as she read the note, which also explained that Sarah was locked in the basement. Unfortunately, the note fell into Don's hands, and he immediately confronted Sarah. The two had a heated argument. In 2001, heavy rain began to fall. A part of the ceiling cracked, and Sarah saw an opportunity to escape. She grabbed a spoon and started digging through the crack, and soon, she saw a network of wires outside. She stuck her hand through the hole and waved a flashlight, hoping someone would see her and come to her aid. A passerby noticed her and knocked on the door. Don answered and explained the situation, but he lied about Sarah's whereabouts. Later, Don went down to Sarah in the basement and beat her mercilessly, despite her being pregnant. She bled heavily, and tragically, the baby she was carrying died. Don buried the child in the garden. In 2002, Sarah had spent 18 years in the basement. One day, Don came down to her and found her exhausted and weak. He told her to smile, threatening that if she upset him, he would leave her and the children to starve. The children, tired of living in the basement, began a rebellion campaign, demanding to be let out. Don told them that if they behaved, he would allow them upstairs. He left them alone, and they turned their anger towards Sarah, accusing her of being the reason they were all trapped down there. Unable to take the accusations anymore, Sarah broke down in tears. After a while, she regained her composure and explained everything. She told them that Don was their father, just as he was hers, and that he had locked her away because she had failed to meet his expectations. The children were stunned by the truth. In 2003, Don started reducing the amount of food he gave to Sarah and her children. Sarah argued with him about it, but this only made him angrier. The situation escalated into a fight, and in a fit of rage, Don cut off the electricity to the basement. As time passed, things got even worse for Don. He lost his job, and the weight of his increasing burdens began to take a toll on him. He became so desperate that he seriously considered killing Sarah and her children. He even attached a hose from his car to the ventilation opening in the basement, intending to suffocate them, but eventually, he backed out of the plan. One day, Mary, Sarah's daughter, had a severe seizure. Sarah begged Don to take her to the hospital, and after a lot of convincing, he reluctantly agreed. They went to the hospital, where the doctors managed to save Mary at the last moment. While at the hospital, Sarah asked Don if she could go to the bathroom, but he refused. Desperate, Sarah quickly poured water onto a form to make it seem like she was using the bathroom, then ran to the doctor and told her everything. The doctor immediately called the police. The officer quickly chased Don down, and Sarah's mother was heartbroken to learn that her daughter had been trapped in the basement for all these years, locked away by her own father. But amidst all the pain, there was a small ray of hope. Chris, Sarah's long-lost love, came to her and gave her the pink rose he had promised her 24 years ago. In 2008, it was revealed that this story was based on real events, and it became known as the story of one of the worst fathers in history.